Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for Pilates Sculpt. My name is Audra, and today we're going to use some props. We're going to use some weights, a ball, a mini band. However, if you're at home and you don't have these things, don't worry. If you have a TheraBand, like a long one, you can tie it around your legs with a little bow because you're a gift. And if you don't have one, don't worry about it. You can just squeeze your muscles. As far as the ball goes, if you don't have one, if you have a pillow you can fold a couple times, that works beautifully. And with the weights, if you're like, I don't have weights, I have these bottles of wine, great, use wine bottles or water gallon jugs or chunky cats, whatever you have. Yeah, that's how it is at my house. We're gonna start standing. And we're just gonna do a little check-in, right? So just kind of shift your weight forward and back a couple times, see where your body lands, right? So if your weight is all on your heels or all on your toes, it can change your whole just general structural posture. And then just kind of see where your ankles are, right? And then your knees, are they bent or hyperextended or just gently positioned above your ankles? And then you can think about your hip bones, right? Are they pointing down? Are they pointing up? Or are they pointing pretty much straight ahead like car headlights? And then with our ribs, are they up or down or center, right over your pelvis like a soup pot and a lid? And then kind of the same with your shoulders and your face. Let your arms relax, nod your chin, hollow out through the front of your body and start to roll down. As you roll down, look at your toes, see what they're doing. Are they pointing out? Are they pointing in? Are they straight ahead? And you can shift your weight forward and back a couple of times. And bend one knee, keep the other knee straight. So we get a little baby hamstring stretch. Push into the ground, other side. Back and forth, just a couple of times. And back to center. It's okay to soften your knees here. Push into the floor, lift your belly button, rolling all the way up, one bone at a time, trying to find that nice stacked position. Now bring one hand to your lower back, one hand to your front. Yeah, now as we breathe, we're just gonna try to engage our lower abs a little bit. So on your exhale, without tucking, we're just drawing our belly button away from our hand. Yeah. And then inhale, let everything expand, please. So a lot of times, we tend to want to like walk around looking skinny, right? And then we don't let everything expand. And then we can't contract it appropriately either, right? So we're trying to let the tissue of our back expand on our inhale. We're trying to let our ribs expand on our inhale. The fronts of our abs expand on the inhale. And then exhale, just think about hugging everything together. Good. Feeling those low abs a little bit. Untuck your tailbone for me, Suze. Other direction. Yeah. Keep it the way it was. Look at me. Keep it back. Stick your butt out. Yeah. Now keep it that way. Yeah. Keep it out. Just draw your hand away or your abs away from your hands without tucking. Yeah. Do you feel it's just a little bit less aggressive? Yeah. Good. Last one. Hold that. Now keep this engagement for now. We're going to roll back down. So now we're layering on. Think about the fronts of your abs contracting and connecting. And come onto hands and knees. Now you can always be on your fists or your forearms, or you can use your weights and try to find your neutral spine, right? So if we're rounded and tucked or arched, try to find a nice flat back position. On your exhale, without rounding your back, just hug your abs up and in, and then slide one foot out. Fold it in, other side. So back and forth just a few times, just starting to notice if your body shifts And when we notice, we're noticing without judgment, right? No judgment, just observations. Now you can stick with this or hover that foot and hold at the end range for a second. Yeah. Now I don't want it to even come up in line with your hips. I want it to be a baby hover and then fold it in. Baby hover. Think about pushing that foot into a wall behind you. Good, back and forth a couple more times. Now, if this feels good, you can always advance it by taking the opposite arm away from you. Hold it at that end range. Once again, you're pushing away. Like, this is the nerdiest visualization ever, but I always think of those old cartoons where you're in like a mad scientist layer and the walls are coming in, right? You want to like create like a nice strong position to keep those walls away from you. Yeah. Oh yeah, or the trash compactor in Star Wars. Yeah, keep it away. Yeah. If you're like, I don't watch that stuff, Audra, that's fine. Just think of something else. Good. Now, if that feels easy, we're going to up level it by doing same side arm and leg. And it's a whole new world, right? Yeah. So if you are like, I got this, but your whole hip complex is turned, no big deal, but then try to rotate it down and see if you can still stabilize, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing with cheating, right? Your body's just finding a strategy to help, right? It's less about, you know, like having the answers written down on your hands, right? It's more like your nervous system is like, well, I can't do it this way, so I'm going to do it this way, which is why we then try to just see where we can go, right? One more. Last one. Yeah. Hey, but that's great. One side, you got it. Now we get to slide one foot out. Push the foot into the ground. Lift your belly button. Push into your hands or forearms. Slide that other foot out. Nice plank to start. Good. Hip. Yes. Gorgeous, everybody. Yeah. Nancy, hip bones up a little. Yeah. You all look so good. Lee King, bring your hips up just a tiny bit. There you go. In between, you can squeeze your butt forward a little bit more. Yeah, good. Now, if it's appropriate, then one knee, reach it back. Other side. So if it's not appropriate, don't do it. If you're like, I hate planks, come on to hands and knees and go back to the quadruped, right? We have just a couple more. Waking up our body a little bit or a lot bit. We have 3. Good. You okay, Nance? Come on to your forearms if you need to. Or last set, and then you press yourself into your rest position. Hands up and over to one side. Push your hips away. And then other side. Now, all of you had such beautiful planks. I want you to be able to find it from different ranges of motion. So we're coming onto hands and knees. Bring your hands forward so we can come into a knee plank, okay? So with the hands forward, we're going to lift the ribs, squeeze the buns forward, find this position, yeah. So if your hips drop, you still have to push up towards the sky because it's still that plank, right? Good. Now, tuck your tailbone for me so it's more like this. Up towards the sky here. So instead of here, round your back. Yeah, there you go. Good. Now, tuck your toes under, straighten your legs. Plank time. Now all we're doing, hinging around the shoulders, And the knees, tap the knees down, bring it back up. Yeah, so much fun, right? Yeah, exactly. Good. Couple more. If you're doing this on your forearms, great. If you're doing this on your fists or weights, great. 3 more. 2. Unless you need a break, in which case take 1. Last one, knees down. Press yourselves into that rest position. Awesome. Nice job, you guys. Everybody feeling awake? Great. We're not done with planks though. So come on to your hip. Oh, hey, what's up? Now, I like to be on my forearm here because my wrists don't necessarily love a side plank, but some people, their shoulder doesn't love a side plank, in which case, try hand, okay? So whichever variation you choose, we're starting on our hip, push either your hand or your elbow into the ground, lift your bottom ribs. This might be your plank. Otherwise, you can drive that top knee down, bottom knee down, lift your hips. Yeah. Good. Now maybe this is where you are. In which case, fantastic. Maybe you're like, this is too easy. Okay, extend a leg. And then extend your other leg behind you. And if that's still too easy, bend your bottom knee in, opposite elbow. And then extend. Yeah, good. Nice. So if you want to move that leg, you have to have a slightly different base of support than here, right? So you have to have that top leg on the ground already. If you're on your knee, you're like, but I still want more, you can always bring that top leg. Hey, Nancy. Yeah, right there. Good. So each way is fine. We have just a couple more. 3, 2. Last one. And then we get to come through center to the other side. So once again, maybe you're here. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're here. Does not matter to me. Maybe you're here, right? Good. So you pick your variation. And then if you're on your knee, you can always bring that top knee. If you're on your feet, bottom knee. Yeah. Good. A few more. Trying not to arch here. So we're keeping our ribs in, lifting from that oblique and glute and armpit. Just a couple more. 3, 2. Last one. Come through center. Yeah. I'll wait. All right, now you can be on your feet or your knees, right? We're going to tap a foot out, bring it in. Good. Yeah. Now, if you're on your knees, no problem. Monica, that looks great. Is it feeling okay? Yeah. Yeah. If you're on your knees, it can be the same thing. Okay, we have 2 more. Keep lifting away from the floor. Last one, knees down. Press yourselves into your rest position. Hands up and over to one side. Press those hips away. Other side. Okay, everybody. We're going to grab our mini band and put it and put it on. Now, if you're at home and you don't have a mini band, here's where you can use that TheraBand. If you don't have one, lucky you, don't worry about it. All right. Oh, we're going to come all the way to standing, however you need to. If you want it more challenging, have it lower, less challenging, up higher. Angela, I like that you've already gone for like the blue band. You're like, nothing's stopping me. Big wide stance. If you need to switch, just throw it at me, we'll switch, okay? So nice wide stance here. Now let's talk about thigh position, right? Because our feet are out to the side, if we bend our knees forward, we're essentially internally rotating at the knee. If we turn just the feet out, it's going to be kind of the same. So we're allowing the feet to come with us because we are spiraling from the upper thigh bone. Boom. So we're already accessing our glutes, okay? We don't have to be out super far. We're still going to spiral as we sink down. And hold. Now, check out your knees. In an ideal world, they're going to be over that third or even second toe. If they're over your big toe, it can put pressure on the knee. So take your hands and just use your glutes. Don't move your hands. Use your glutes to rotate. So on the inside, yeah, keep your hands there. Just move the knees. Yeah, and then in. Good. Yeah. Yeah, everybody feeling those glutes starting to turn on? Yeah. Couple more. Yeah, for 4, 3. Now, if you have any hip issues, be cautious with your range of motion with this next exercise, okay? So we're going to hold. Keep one knee perfectly still. The other knee is just going to internally rotate a little bit. Use your foot and your glute to press it back and hold. Other side. Now, I don't want a huge range of motion here. And we're trying not to let the hips shift, right? We're keeping the hips stationary, letting the thigh bone move, yeah. Now when the knee comes across, do you feel your foot flatten a little? Great, great, it should. But then you can activate that arch to help you come back to center. Yeah. Anybody not feeling their glutes a little? Right, yeah. And this is why I say breaks are great, right? Always, always, always feel like you can take a break. Couple more. Suze, relax your neck. Thank you. Good. Monica, just feeling okay on your hips? Yep, I want that for you. Last set. Yeah. Dion, you look like you're praying for this to be over. You're like, please let it stop. All right, we hold. Press out with both, sink down an inch. Lift up half an inch. Sink it down half an inch. We're all in this together, you guys. We have 5. But also if you're like, man, I can't do this, take a second, it's fine. 3. If you're like, I can do this without the band, okay, take the band off. It's just an added bonus. 2. Last one, good job. Come on up. Bring your feet together. Dion, if you're too. Now, we're going to kind of rotate our inner thighs or like our upper thigh bone just a couple times. Now, keep them over that second or third toe. Think about squeezing your inner thighs together like you're trying to pop a balloon. Then squeeze one cheek, float the other leg up. Yeah. Now maybe this feels impossible. If that's the case, hold on to something. Yeah, good. Now, keeping that beautiful upright posture, just brush that knee out to the side and back. Yeah, good. Tuck your tailbone for me just a little. Yeah, good. Is that more exciting? Yeah. Yeah. Good. Then do you feel how your hip is trying to help? Keep it still so it's just the glutes working. It's going to be a smaller move. Good. Dion, that does not look bad. That looks pretty good, but I want your left hip to rotate towards me. Right knee spirals out into the band slightly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Yeah, from that glute, right? Yeah, yes. Yep, yep. Yeah. Yeah. 2 more. Last one. Now, you can keep this leg bent or tap it down. This is going to be a bigger range than we sometimes use. Do not worry. We are hip hinging. We're going to reach across and then come back up. Okay, so you can keep that toe tap down and back up. Yeah. Yeah. So the one that's stationary, we're just taking it, yeah. So let that knee bend. Yeah, yeah. So it's a bigger, like almost a squat plus hip hinge, right? If that leg is straight or we're not letting it bend, then it's just a hip hinge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Last one, amazing, feet together. We're gonna do the other side. So making sure that the knees aren't collapsing in. Then squeeze the inner thighs, right? Good. And now just be aware, one side might feel a little different than the other. That's okay. That's normal. Just hold and find it. Now, if you look at my position, as soon as I bend my knee, it comes forward. That's because I have a tight quad. If you can keep your knees together without your back arching, please do. Okay? Now, brush. Yeah. Don't hyperextend that right knee, please. Thank you. The sass. Good. I mean, I love it. Like, you guys know I love it, right? Yeah. And the sass. Both. Yeah, yeah. One of my clients, if he's not giving me the side eye, I'm not doing my job. Also Nancy. Good. Couple more. Yeah. How's that foot feeling? So exciting? Yeah. If you can spread your toes, you can't see what my feet are doing. They're gripping, but they should be spreading, right? Good save. Yeah, that would not have supported you. 2 more. Good. Last one. You can tap it down or keep it up. We're gonna just reach. Whoa, that's exciting for me today. And back. Yeah, now, if your knees went flat, see if you can keep them. Gently pressing into the band, right? The band, part of what it does is it gives us feedback, right? Part of what it does is it gives us a little resistance. So our nervous system needs to kind of press into it. Yeah, pressing into your whole foot, good save. Good. How's everybody feeling? So great. Yeah. 2 more. Last one. Nice job. All right, you can either keep the band on or take it off. It's up to you. We're going to bring our feet together, come into a little bit of an athletic stance. So our ankles, knees, and hips all need to move. And the hips will slide back a little. Now, hands on your back to start. The reason we're doing this is we're going to breathe. So as we inhale, really inflate into your hands, let the tissue of your low back expand. And then exhale, try not to just collapse from it. Draw the front in. Couple more. Good. So allowing the tissue of our low back to expand is part of what's going to help stabilize our spine. So we're not gripping, right? If your back starts to not like the moves, please come out of it, okay? Now, pick a foot, slide that foot away from you and fold it in. Same side, First couple never count, right? Maybe that band is like, I'm pulling you across and you have to find it. Or maybe your balance gets shifted. It's okay. We're gonna have gunslinger hips in that they're pointing forward. If they start rotating, see if you can bring them back to center, okay? Good. Yeah, so if you've ever done scooter on the reformer, this is similar. Good. A few more. How's that feeling, everybody? Great? Did I hear no? Oh, whoa, okay. Give me 3 more. I cannot wait to see you teach a class one day, Nance. 2 more. I do often. All right, so you can either keep that toe on the ground. We are hip hinging. So your spine stays in the same position as we rotate your hips. And we hold for a second. Now push into that foot, keep the knee bent, hip hinge up. So we're keeping the knee bent because we're trying to find hip extension before knee extension. Okay, so that's a good question. On the way down, think of your sits bones widening. It's very neutral. On the way up, try to maintain neutral, but at the top, if you have to tuck a little bit to make sure you don't arch, bias towards the tuck. But it's almost more like, instead of a huge tuck, more like you're just squeezing the butt to glide forward, right? It's subtle and nuanced. So if you're like, I can't find that, at the top, a tuck is fine. Good. Making sure you're pushing into the floor with that foot. Arch is active. Give me that arch a little bit, Angel. Your arch, just squeeze it a little bit on your left foot. So you don't have to think of a lift. Just if you had something underneath, the muscles would just start to suction cup it a little bit. Yeah. Did you feel how when you lifted your toes, it just, like it got a little bit more structural? See if you can keep that. Yes. Yeah. Boom. Exactly. Yeah. Now, of course, you can float that foot up, but if all of a sudden you're like, I lost it, keep it top down. We have 2 more. Yeah, agreed. And we get to hold this last one down. Now, it is tempting to just rotate through your ribs. We're actually going to think of your hips. So this inner thigh is going to drag your opposite hip towards it. And then you're going to push into the floor, use your glutes to come back to center. Gunslinger hips. Inner thigh. Yep, yeah. Yeah, so if you're like, yeah, good. Yeah, so towards the end, yeah. And then just back to center. Yep, good. Feel how that glute has to really work to get you back to center? Yeah, it's like a clamshell, except it's a closed chain. Got 2 more. Last one. Awesome job. I have fantastic news. Other side. You guys are like, how is that fantastic? It's fantastic because it's not the same side again, right? So think about feet together, squeeze those inner thighs, and we let everything kind of move. Now, I'm going to use myself as an example here. This is my weaker side. So my hip wants to kick out to the side, my knee wants to come across, my glute is like, I don't want to do anything. So if you find on one of your sides that you're doing that, an easy way to get out of it without overcorrecting is think of your tailbone pointing the other direction from the way it's trying to go. That's it. Okay? Yeah. It's okay to stick your booty out a little bit, right? Good. How's that feeling, everybody? So good? Yeah. Yes, it feels great. Yeah, amazing. Good. So Monica, that looks like you're gonna fall. So hold on. I know this is gonna be crazy. I want you to grab another washcloth. I want you to put it like underneath the toes of your left foot and slide it. Yeah, yeah. So smooth and easy, right? Yeah. That glide can be really helpful. Yeah. A few more. I do apologize that you have a labyrinth of stuff that you have to navigate through. Yeah. Give me just a couple more. Last two. And then we can bring it in. The amount of weight that's on that back foot, it's up to you. We hip hinge. So think about when you hip hinge, if you're like, I feel my back a lot, let your hips slide back a little and make sure that knee is bent. And then bring it up, okay? Yeah. Good, slide the hips back even more, yeah. Like this is kind of a weird visual, but imagine you've taped a flashlight to your tailbone and you really want to like shine the flashlight behind you. And you don't want to like keep or lighten or make the light smaller. You want to make the light a little bit brighter on the wall behind you. Yeah, yeah. So at that end range, find your arch just a tiny bit. Like just, there's a little bit of suction cup. Yeah. I think we found more excitement. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and press your knee out to the side just a little bit. Yes, yes. Amazing. How's everybody? Oh, you gave up on the block, I see. Good, good. Yeah, that's fair, yeah. How's this feeling, you guys? Everybody doing great? Amazing? That's fair. You can always think about floating that leg up. But imagine how amazing it's going to feel when you're done. Right? 2. Last set, and then we get to hold it down. So we get to challenge that glute. Eccentrically, we hold. And now once again, instead of rotating from our rib cage, we're rotating our hips because this inner thigh is dragging us down. And then we're pushing into the ground to find that glute. If you're like, I need a break, take one and then come back to it, right? Inner thigh drags us down, glute pushes us back to center. Yeah. Beautiful. We're almost there, I promise. I promise. 2 more. Oh, even with the masks, I can see the pain. You guys relax your faces because this is your last one. And come back to center. Nice job. We're going to do a roll down while we roll the band off. Oh. And just dangle for a second. Oh. And roll it back up. If your glutes are like, oh my gosh, you can do a little figure 4 stretch, right? Making sure you've got a strong ankle, not just kind of supinated. You can tuck and extend. Good. Send your butt back more. Yeah. You feel a slightly different stretch? And then other side. I've decided that any sore muscle that I have, I'm just going to name it Stella. So every time I could just be like, Stella. Yeah, I got a lot of Stellas. You don't know. All right. We're going to come onto our knees for a moment. Now, don't worry, this is more of an experiment in a fun way. fun way. So if you're like, what? Why is this so hard? Because it is. So think about your knees pressing down, the crown of your head lengthening upward. Please slide one foot forward and down. Yeah. And then on your exhale, see if you can lift it up. And bring it back down. Yeah. And then other side. Exhale. And back down. Now, just start to notice what your body's strategy is for bringing your leg forward. So for example, on this side, my knee wants to go out to the side and around. But then on my other side, my foot wants to go out to the side and my leg wants to internally rotate, right? It just gives us information. So think of Grease. Not the musical. Okay. I was like, oh, okay, Dion. Yeah. That makes way more sense. Ah, so guess what this is really important for you guys? Thank you. Getting up and down off the ground, right? So if you're like, well, I can't quite do that, that's okay. No judgment, judgment-free zone. Slide it, see what you can do. If you're like, okay, I almost got this, but I need a little bit of balance, a little bit of support. Okay, let your nervous system feel safe. Maybe you need to like push your hands together, right? That just gives yourself a little bit more feedback. Yeah. After all that glute work we just did, employ it, right? If you're like, here and not using the glutes to help, use them. That knee that's stationary, it drives down and out. So that side glute helps, right? Yeah. Seeing how much longer we got? Oh. And we're gonna bring that first foot forward. Now, tuck your toes under if it's appropriate. Now, instead of being super upright, I want you to come forward slightly. So stick your tail feathers back. Even though you're pushing into that back foot, most of the work is in this front leg. Lift. Yeah. Slowly, 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 slowly lower. We get to do the other side. Now, if you're like, one side's easy, the other side is really hard. Use support for the side that's challenging. Monica, will you roll your foam roller to me? Thank you. So for example, no, this is perfect. For example, if you're like, I need a little support, you can use the foam roller and your front leg, right? And you can either switch it. Yeah. If you're at home and you don't have a foam roller, you have a chair, a couch, not a chunky cat, right? They will definitely revolt. Yeah. Good. So it's basically a split squat, right? As opposed to a big up and down lunge. Yeah. We're almost there. One more each side. Yeah. 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 Nice job. Come all the way up. Grab your weights. Now, notice how the weights are just gently letting your shoulders pull out of your ears. Allow that. We're going to just do a little bicep curl and then slowly lower down. Yeah. Easy breezy lemon squeezy, yeah? Thank you. Also, side note, some of you had this expression and it was cracking me up. Now, this might be where you are. Relax your shoulders. Thank you. Or you can always stand on one leg. Or you can always switch. If you switch, especially while standing on one leg, you will feel how your body has to dynamically respond to the change of force, right? Yeah. That is impressive. Yeah. Couple more. So yes, we're using our biceps. On that way down, we're eccentrically lowering, but it's also really about that balance. 2 more. And all we get to do is switch legs. And maybe with one leg, you got no problem getting there. It's like as easy as just lifting the foot. Maybe on the other side, you gotta finesse it a little bit. No problem. Yeah, how's everybody feeling? So good? Yeah. Good. Couple more. And 2, yeah. Relax your grip on your weights and keep making sure you're not hyperextending through your knees. And that might help the shoulders a little bit. Good, last one. Nice job. All right. You guys are gonna keep the weights in your hands. I'm just gonna show you what we're doing next. When we do this, if we just pull our elbows back, see what my shoulders are doing? So we're actually gonna tuck our shoulder blades in our back pockets, right? And we pull our elbows down before they come back. Whether you're here or here, it's more of a down than just a straight back, okay? So we're trying to get those lower traps as well as rhomboids. Lower traps first. Now, you can either have both feet underneath you, shoulder blades tuck in your back pockets, elbows draw down and back, hold it, or you can be on one foot. Or you can be on one foot and be forward more. This is much harder. So if you're like, but I'm almost there, you can always tap that foot down. Make sure you hold isometrically. So we hold, 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 slowly lower, down and back, hold, hold, hold. Now, switch legs if you want. And by if you want, I mean, if you were on one leg to start, if you were on 2, you can't hover off of both of them, I'm sure. But couple more. 3, hold, hold, draw it down and back, hold, hold. Last one. Yeah, and then hold this. Make sure those elbows are in line with your ribs. Straighten your arms, squeeze, hold. Yeah. Everybody feel those triceps? And then bend. Reach it back and down. Hold. Yeah, for 4. 3, 2, and then bend. Press down and back, hold. For 4, 3, 2. Try not to drop your head. And again, down and back. Nice job. How's that feeling, everybody? Great. Yeah. 2 more. Well, we could be doing more legs. Yeah, so it feels amazing. You know, that's impressive. Last one, we get to hold it. 3, 2, 1. We're coming all the way to the ground. You guys ready? We're coming all the way to the ground. And we're not done with the weights though. So have one weight on each side. We're going to take a second and find the work before we add the weight. So I don't necessarily need you in this T position. We can be in an A position, it's fine. Shoulder blades melt onto the ground. Try to have them nice and flat. Now, leading with your pinky fingers, so we can find a little bit of serratus anterior. Straighten your arms towards the sky. Externally rotate your upper arm bones a millimeter as you reach your pinky fingers up Let the arm bones then relax down. Then think about squeezing your shoulder blades together to try to drag your elbows down. And then we try that again. Reach, press, draw it down. Now, if this is where you are and you're just working on scapular mechanics, great, that's fantastic. If you're like, okay, I got this, you can add weight. If when you add the weight, your form improves, great. If when you add the weight, your form falls apart, okay, take the weight away, right? We're still trying to find a little bit of that serratus as well as pec. Pec has to work. And then we're letting it slide back. We're thinking about the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. So we're activating our postural muscles as well. We have a couple more. Relaxing through your neck. 2. Last one. Hold it up. Now, if you have shoulder instability, maybe bring your hands together. If your shoulders are like, yeah, let's do it, you can keep your hands apart. Slowly let your hands come down. And then reach up, squeeze your triceps. Oh, more tricep work? Yes. Keep the arm bones heavy against the floor. We're decelerating eccentrically, so gravity is pulling us and we're resisting. And then we concentrically extend towards the sky. Couple more. 2. Last one. Go ahead, set your weights gently to the side. And grab the ball. Now, once again, if you're at home, you don't have a ball, you can fold a pillow or just do without. We're going to bring it behind us. So about mid-thoracic, so about resting near your shoulder blades, okay? We can always get closer to the prop or farther away. Let your hands support your head. So your hands are a hammock, your head is in your hands are lengthening and elbows are forward. Keep your ribs drawing towards your belly button and gently extend over your prop. Now on your exhale, pull your belly button in, sink your ribs down, curl forward, hold. Yeah. And then slowly extend. And then inhale, exhale, curl, hold. Stephanie, it's your favorite song. And slowly extend. And yeah, so you can have it slightly more dynamic on the way up if that feels good. We're gonna hold and then extend slow, 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 slow. If you're like, okay, I'd like more challenge, please. You take your weight. And then you slowly extend. If behind your head is way too heavy, bring it in front of you. Just know you don't have the support for your neck. Yeah. Monica, look forward a little bit. Yeah. 2 more. Last one like this. Bring your hands forward. Push them into an imaginary surface. Now, whether you have just your hands or the weight, try to maintain your height as your hands come up and then back down. Yeah. Now, my neck was like, you know what? Today I don't love that. So I'm getting rid of my weights. And I'm just moving a little closer to my ball so I can get higher up. Good. Try not to lower as the hands come up. So curl towards me. Okay. No, curl your chest towards me. Sorry. Yeah. I'll show you. So as your weights were coming up, you were starting to look at them, which was pulling you down. So curl this part higher towards me. Yeah. And then keep it there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Good. Yeah, more exciting. Yep. And then don't lower down. So keep your chest curled forward. Yeah. And then just keep here. Yeah, good. Yeah. 2 more. Angel curl forward. Yeah. Last one, everybody. You can set the weight to the side, interlace your hands, and extend. So now instead of weight, we're going to use our hand to help us get more excitement. So we curl forward, float one leg up, that same side hand. Think about the heel of it. We're going to push into the leg. Yeah, hold, match that weight. Yeah, yeah. So you can do elbow or hand. I think you're a little close to the ball. So scoot away from the ball a tiny bit. Yeah. Yep. And your hand will have to your elbow will have to be bent. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. And then you can extend. And then curl, push, same side. Anybody else start trembling immediately or just me? Yeah. I'm glad I'm not alone. Now, if you're at home and you don't have the ball, it's the exact same move, just without the extension, right? So it's just here and down, okay? So if the ball isn't working for you, don't worry about it. Yeah. 2 more. Last one. Hold, 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 other side. Push. And then extend. And again, how do those obliques feel, everybody? So good. And by good, that's in quotes. So exciting, so intense, thrilling. Remember how hard our glutes were working a minute ago? Yeah. Don't worry, the muscles will forget about it as soon as we're done. Wait, what? Yeah. Is that what both of you said at the same time? I thought I heard it in stereo, but I was like, it's true, some will never forget. Almost there. Last one. And hold. And then both hands behind your head, extend and relax for a second. Now, remember at the beginning when we drew our belly buttons in, but then we allowed everything to expand on our inhale? Let everything expand on your inhale. And then curl and come on up. We're gonna take that ball, move it away. Yeah, and we're gonna roll back down 1 inch at a time. Shoulders melting out of your ears. Now, real talk, if you're here, it's gonna flatten out your back. Let your hands come forward. Now, instead of a lowercase c, we're just coming into an uppercase C, and then roll down 1 inch, and then 1 inch, and 1 inch, and 1 inch. Yeah, looking down. Big inhale. Big exhale on the way up. Good. Yeah. Now, first one never counts, right? We're just finding it. So if on the way down, you're like, I would like a little support. Okay. If on the way up, you're like, I need a little support. Okay, climb your legs, right? No problem. Yeah, use your breath. That was a great neck pull. And then if you want, of course, you can always use a little assistance, right? So listen to your body. Yeah, and where it is today. Good. Some days if my hip flexors are extra tight, or my back is like cranky, or, you know, I know this is weird. Soften your right knee. Yeah. 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 Sometimes you need a prop. Sometimes you need an assist. Last one. Oh, use your breath more next time and you got it. Yeah, just big. Yeah. Yeah. Then we get to come all the way down. And then interlace those hands behind your head. You guys thought we were done with abs. We're never done with abs. This class is going to be 12 more hours of just abs. Curl forward. Everybody's like, I did not sign up for that. Me either. It's fine. Push your hands into your imaginary wall, hands back behind your head. Now, we're going to rotate to one side, float that leg up, hold. Come back to center, other side. Now, if you need a break in between, you bring your head down and then you curl. Right? No problem. If you're like, okay, that's great, but I'd like a little bit more work. Bring both legs to tabletop. Rotate to one side, push that elbow into the knee and reach the other leg away. And then the other side. Now, if you can't get your elbow to your knee, don't fret. Your hand is there to help you. All we're doing is creating that isometric contraction and that innervation, right? We're almost there. And 2. And 2. Keeping the hips nice and still and stable. Last set. Come back to center. Now slowly take your feet away from you a couple inches, hold, and then float them back in. Imagine pushing them into a wall, but that wall is eventually going to move a few inches, and then fold it back. Few more. You don't need to fully straighten your legs here. Only go into a range that feels good. 2. Last one. Hold, hold, hold. Hug your knees towards your chest and relax. It is hard. Hands behind your thighs. Start to roll up. Go ahead and come onto your knees for a second and bring a foot forward. Now, if you're like, this does not feel great on my knee, you can always use a gardening pad. You can fold your mat a couple times. We're just going to bring our weight forward and back a couple of times. And just see where your body says your range is, right? Now, bring it back. Tuck your tailbone a little. Yeah. So we are shortening the distance between our hips and our ribs. Oh my gosh, that is already talking for me. Yeah. Squeeze your butt forward a little and hold. Yeah. Try not to let your hips come forward. Yeah. And it just takes your origin and insertion points away from each other. So it changes the stretch, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. If that's where it's tight, yeah. Yeah. Now hold. We're going to push our back foot down. Oh, yep. For 5, 4. Everybody feel that quad light up? 3, 2. Stop pressing, squeeze the glute, exhale. Maybe you get more range. Now, think about your knee. You're going to press it down and forward. And maybe you get more activation here now. For 3, 2, and relax. Now, press yourself back to your center. We're going to get a quick little pectineus stretch. So the only thing we've done is we've swept that leg around. We're looking this way. Nope. Don't move that. Yeah, there you go. Now, this leg can be out to the side, kind of like we have that band on it. Superhero stance if you want. Lean into it. And just see what your body feels like. Yeah, good. Pectineus. If you're like, what is a pectineus? Your pectineus is a fun little muscle, but doubles as a hip flexor and an adductor. Yeah, a lot of times if you have groin strain, that, and come on back, and other side. So honestly, it depends on which side is tight. So yeah, so just kind of come forward and back a couple times. I personally feel it more in my upright leg, but some people will feel it more in their bottom. Okay. 2 more. Don't worry so much about where the pelvis goes the first couple. We're kind of seeing where that end range is. So if your end range is here and you go farther, your back is going to arch, right? So see if you can find that little bit of control. Bring it back and we tuck, right? So this is putting more stretch on that quad. Our rectus femoris doubles as a hip flexor, right? So then we push down into that back foot for 5 and 4, 3, 2, relax, squeeze the glute. And then you can press that knee down and forward a little for 5. So good. Maybe you feel this up higher. 4. Maybe you still feel quad if that's what's tight. And then squeeze your glute and relax. We're going to hold for a couple seconds. And then we're going to sweep that foot around. Making sure. Now, back to your question. If the knee is coming forward, it's not actually getting that stretch on the pectineus. So finding that external rotation is going to help, right? Yeah. 2 more. Yeah, we're almost done. 2. It's okay. 2. Last one. We're going to come all the way to standing, you guys. Press into your hands, into your feet. Walk your hands back. Roll it on up. Now all we're going to do, bring your shoulders to your ears. Relax them down. 1 more. And give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome job today. Thank you so much for joining me. You're all amazing.